For video, should you shoot in 1080p or 4K? First of all, what do these terms even mean? 1080p refers to the resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels, whereas 4K is twice that linear resolution, or 3840 by 2160 pixels. Therefore, 4K has 4 times as many pixels as 1080p. Now I'm going to tell you a few reasons why you might want to use one over the other. But first, if you liked the video, I encourage you to subscribe to support the channel. Number 1. If you have a 4K timeline, of course you should use 4K. You do not want to use 1080p video on a 4K timeline, so if your output video is going to be in 4K, shoot in 4K. Number 2. Downscaling. On many cameras, like the Nikon D500, downscaling 4K footage to 1080p footage is often more detailed than the corresponding 1080p footage. However, on other cameras this is not the case. Thus, if your camera's 4K footage looks better than 1080p footage even on a 1080p timeline, you should shoot in 4K. Number 3. Zooming in post. Even if your final video is in 1080p, if you shoot in 4K, you have some room to zoom in post. I got my assistant here, Mr. Rabbit, to show you how this works. This clip was taken in 4K, and since my video is 1080p, I can zoom in a little while keeping a good level of quality. Number 4 is a reason not to use 4K, and that is frame rates. If you want to shoot at very high frame rates, some of the highest frame rates are only available in 1080p on most cameras. For example, on this Panasonic G9, I can shoot in 1080p at 180 frames per second. This is not possible when I'm shooting in 4K mode. Thus, if you want access to the highest frame rates, don't shoot in 4K and shoot in 1080p instead. Number 5. Size. Another reason not to use 4K. 1080p footage takes up much less space. In fact, it takes about 4 to 5 times less space. Therefore, if you know you're not going to need the extra quality or the flexibility to zoom in post with 4K, you might shoot in 1080p to save some space. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your videography.